One of the things you seem the most proud of, and certainly worthy of interest, is the time that you spent with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Just share with us a little bit about your time with Elizabeth.
Elizabeth and I used to sit. She had a cabin, small house in Highland County, Virginia. That's where I lived with her. I was her driver and her sheep herder. And she sent me to spinning school so I could learn how to spin the wool because I really loved the sheep. And so I learned to spin, and I bought a spinning wheel. And I spun the wool a lot, and I insisted on getting black sheep. I've always sided with the underdog, so I bought black sheep.
I read that she brought her AIDS hospice program to the farm. Did she have that there when you were there, or was that before she did?
It wasn't a hospice program, but there were a couple of people there who had AIDS, and the people in the community in Highland County, Virginia, were very, very uptight. And we actually had to have police escort to a couple of the county meetings because they dumped glass on the road and nails on the road. They didn't like her. They wanted her out of there. And sometimes she would say, well, Jesus said, you should love your neighbor. And listen, she wasn't a Bible thumper by any means, but she would pretty freely just quote things from the heart, from the Spirit.
Yeah.
And I remember one time somebody yelled out, well, you're not Jesus, and she just kind of smiled and just blew it off.
Why were the people mad at her?
Because she had a couple of people with AIDS there with us at the farmhouse.
So that was when people were afraid that AIDS was contagious, so they didn't want anybody near.
Really freaking out.
What other things did you and Elizabeth do together?
She would go see people who were really sick, and she'd call me and we would go together. She took me with her everywhere. We liked to go to yard sales. We did a lot of that together. She loved to bake. She was an incredible cook. I guess being from Switzerland, you can imagine she was an amazing, amazing cook. And she would always cook and then bring in her, she had a pickup truck, and she would always bring desserts down to the farmhouse for us. She always cooked for us. We got really irritated at her because she would smoke in the farmhouse. We always raised heck with her about that. But she still did it anyway.
I understand you're a practicing Buddhist. Can you give us a little background to that and some of your philosophy and how you live that out?
I meditate on the most simple thing there is, which is the breath, because you don't need an external symbol or anything else. The breath is always with you, and I just follow the breath up, down, in and out. That's what this is. Following the breath is so natural. Even while talking, I'm aware of the breath, of the rhythm, of the in and out, the up and down. It's always there. There's no getting away from it. I mean, it's the sustenance of life.